welcome to another New Hampshire winter. It's starting off with a bang here. It's been snowing pretty much non-stop for the last 36 hours and we're coming up on 2 feet. Luckily, before this happened, I put some work into my tractor. It needed it. It was pretty beat after getting this garage built. I really trashed it, moving dirt and had a broken windshield, among other things. I made a couple of reliability and performance upgrades to my snow removal setup. We'll start off on the blower. I have under here, if you recall, and I think I did a video on this, but that is a Ford Crown Vic power window motor that drives my chute control, at least this portion of it, the rotation. And it was exposed to the elements before, and what would happen is as the snow would melt on it in the garage, it would find its way into that power window motor and freeze. So then I would have to blowtorch the motor, break up that ice so it could turn and run the chute. So this year I cobbled up a little shield out of some steel. I think that's like 16 gauge. So, I mean, it's solid, but that seems to be working really, really well. I didn't have to touch my linear actuator for the angle. That's been working fine. As long as you mount these guys upside down, they seem to work pretty much forever. If you mount them the other way, water will get in there and then you got the same problem with it freezing up or just destroying it in general. So we got that done. The cab itself got a nice fresh paint job. I still need to do some work on the roof. I haven't finished it completely. It's not leaking, but it's rough. As far as the cab itself goes, redid this bottom window with a new seal, brand new glass because I had a tree go through, or a branch go through it when I was pushing back brush, with a new window seal that works really, really well. So no leaks whatsoever on that. Light bar was done at the end of last year to replace a couple of fog lights, which I just moved to the back. Around the back, I ended up getting this Fimco sander spreader for free. So I had, and there's a video on my channel of this, grass seed spreader on here before, and it worked great, but I couldn't turn this one down. It's a real heavy duty unit. I like it a lot. The only thing it didn't have was a cover, so same thing, I made this out of aluminum and then gave it a fancy Kubota paint job so it kind of ties in. The only other problem with this one is you couldn't turn it on and off. You can control the spreader, but you couldn't, it was a manual on and off thing. That wasn't gonna fly, so I created new linkage here and I tucked a linear actuator. This is just temporary. I just zip tied a cover over it to protect it. But this linear actuator will open and close, which will then open and close the salt flow. And then for this, you have variable speed control here. Okay, into the cab. For cab upgrades, for the salt control, I ended up opening up the original. This is what came with the salt spreader, and there was enough room in the bottom here for me to cut in my own little setup here for the linear actuator that turns it on and off. And you just flip that over or back and forth, and that will either open up the salt flow or shut it off. And then you have variable speed control on the spreader itself, and that's mounted right to the side of the cab. Worked out nice. I made a new handle extension for the 3-point arm. On Kubota's, the 3-point arm is down here. It's really low, so it's not hard to get to, but if you fumble around in the dark and you know you're watching where you're plowing, not where the handles are, it can be a pain. And at times I have gone and grabbed this handle, especially when it's in the slower mode here. It's up pretty close to where this one is, and I've put the tractor into neutral while I'm on a hill. And those of you with tractors know that's not a good thing because you take off down the hill pretty quick. So this makes it very obvious that this is the handle that I'm looking for, and I don't even have to look at it. For the chute controls up front, I relocated them. They used to be down here. They're now up here so that I can control them with my thumb nice and easily. And while I'm also able to adjust the angle of the blower itself, so all a nice one-handed operation. I don't know why I didn't do this the first time, but live and learn. What else? Around the top here, I added a little mount for my headset. And I think that's about it for the inside. So we got some work to do. I'm doing 2 different neighbors' driveways this time around. One of them is down in Florida and the other one is my typical elderly neighbor. So I take care of them. So my driveway is actually in pretty good shape. I've only got 2 or 3 inches on it now. I've been trying to keep up with it here so the wife can get in and out. But we'll take a ride over to my neighbors.